Kamado Tanjiro is the main character of the legendary series Demon Slayer. This guy's got it all. Friends, power, hot sister. You know what else he got? Simps. No, seriously, Tanjiro is really popular. Little girls in Japan simp for him harder than for their own parents. But despite all the chatter, there's one thing that no one's talking about. Tanjiro's most powerful asset beyond his blade, his breathing techniques, and his hyperosmia. And I'm gonna show you what it is, right now. Did you catch that? What you just saw is the one thing in Tanjiro's arsenal that constantly saves his ass and gives him an unfair advantage when fighting demons. Something that he has but no one else in the show does, even the Hashiras. Get ready, because I'm about to blow your mind. He simps for demons. No, seriously. Now, I'm not talking about Nezuko, mind you. We all simp for Nezuko. I'm talking about the leagues of demons he's fought, each more deadly than the last. The Bongo Demon, Michael Jackson, Rui. Tanjiro would have hit the floor harder than a drunk guy coming off a roller coaster if he hadn't simped for them. And here's why. In psychology, there's a technical term we use for the kind of simping Tanjiro does, and it's empathy. Empathy is the ability for one person to understand another person's emotions. And while it doesn't really do anything by itself, being able to understand another person's emotions has the added benefit of making you more compassionate. If you understand what you're about to do will hurt another person's feelings, then you're less likely to do it. Unless you're an asshole. This simple trait has been shown to positively correlate to job performance, leadership capabilities, teamwork, resilience, cooperation, handling emotions, mental, and even the physical health of a person. Essentially, the more empathetic you are, the better you'll be at navigating life. Actually, let's save that for later. Being good at empathy as a combat skill in fiction isn't anything totally new either. Marvel's empath is a guy that literally reads his opponent's emotional states to predict their every move and counters them. But that brand of unrealistic supernatural mumbo-jumbo isn't what I'm here to talk about. Right here, right now, I'm gonna show you 3 concrete examples from the Demon Slayer anime of when empathy actually saved Tanjiro's ass, starting with in the early episodes of Demon Slayer, Tanjiro and his friends set out to save a couple kids from a house being haunted by a demon. This demon, as we soon find out, was an aspiring author in his previous life, who turned evil because no one ever recognized his work. The demon gods must have taken pity on him, because the guy went from 0 to OP as f*** after his demonization. As a demon, he now has the power to freely warp space and unleash deadly attacks from long range, all by just tapping on one of his bongos. The fight ensues, and Tanjiro manages to barely squeeze out a victory, but before he strikes the killing blow, he says this. This compliment, so unexpected and so kind, quite literally stuns the demon, who knew only harsh words of criticism in his previous life. And the 2 seconds it took for the demon to mentally register the compliment bought Tanjiro just enough time to decapitate him and secure the victory. Normally, in anime, the protagonist doesn't get to meet the last boss until much later on in the series. That's because it wouldn't be very interesting to watch a fight between the wimpy level 1 hero with starter gear versus the ultimate force of evil in that show's universe. But in Demon Slayer, episode 7, Tanjiro meets the big bad, Kibutsuji Muzan, the guy who slaughtered his entire family and turned his hot sister into a demon. And because Tanjiro was so blinded by his rage, he drew his sword. As Tanjiro's life presumably flashed before his eyes, he notices Muzan holding a little girl, which he assumes to be his daughter. And suddenly, the inconceivable thought of killing a father in front of his own child snaps our hero out of his irrational fury, most definitely saving his life. Remember Rui? That 12 Kizuki spider kid who enslaved a bunch of lesser demons to play house with him. Tanjiro beat him, sure, but he did have a lot of help. His dad in his memories reminded him how to use fire breathing. Nezuko distracted Rui with her newly learned blood explosions. And Giyu, the water Hashira, came in at the end to secure the kill. But there's one other person who contributed to the victory, and she's not even with the Demon Slayers. Spider Mom. When Tanjiro goes in to behead the Spider Mom, instead of resisting and fighting back, she welcomes her demise with open arms. Tanjiro, being as empathetic as he is, senses this and switches the form on his killing blow to grant her a painless and peaceful death. Because of this, as she fades into nothingness, she warns him that there's a 12th Kizuki on the mountain. This tip likely made Tanjiro re-evaluate his strategy and helped him better prepare for the upcoming fight, which he barely survived, by the way. Who knows how it would have turned out if he went in underprepared and overconfident. Empathy, a trait we often forget we have. In today's hectic, busy world, it can feel as if we simply don't have time to care about other people's feelings sometimes. But psychology tells us that the more empathy you show to other people, the better your own life becomes. Up to a point, that is. I'm not gonna bullshit you with warm, fuzzy words. Empathy is good, yes, but too much of it can make things worse. Yes, be compassionate, yes, help those in need, but remember not to sacrifice yourself while you're doing it. There are plenty of people who are ready to take advantage of overly empathetic individuals out in the world. I'm looking at you, psychopaths. If you still think empathy is a load of bull, let me put it to you this way. If all anime protagonists mercilessly dispatched their enemies and walked off into the sunset with a billion explosions in the background, how would they hear this?
Someone from the 12 Kizuki is here.
Well, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.